After Tim Tszyu didn't come off his stool in his much anticipated rematch against Sebastian Fundora, Turki Alalshikh had this to say. I said to you from the beginning, Tim Tszyu does not deserve to be on a Riyadh season or Ring Magazine card. He could be useful as a sparring partner for a champion in Riyadh season. Shrugging shoulders. Boxing glove. Now, I like Tim Tszyu personally, you know what I'm saying? And I thought this was distasteful to say the I ain't gonna lie, man. I gotta gather myself. Hopefully I'll do it by the time the intro runs. Let's go ahead and get to it.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk, and we are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I don't know what time it is. A doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we do, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's do it together. Appreciate you. See, it's that easy. Helps us keep going and growing. You know what I'm talking about on this YouTube platform. But check this out, man. So yesterday we saw quite a few good boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of were anticipated and some of them weren't as anticipated, and some of them had more stakes on it than others, and some didn't have too many stakes. But overall, it was a great day of boxing, you know. And one of the fights had to do with Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu and their rematch, you know, much anticipated, because their first match, which was for Tim Tszyu's WBC and WBO belts, you know, there was some controversy surrounding it, right? Not really controversy as far as the result. I think the result was pretty okay, you know, but it's just the manner of how he got to the result, because, you know, Tim Tszyu sustained a nasty hellacious cut on the top of his head, which severely impaired his vision, and the blood loss severely and significantly drained his energy, right? Of course, you're going to lose stamina with that, you know, so he was essentially handicapped throughout the duration of the fight. And so that heavily played to Sebastian Fundora's favor, and he did come out the victor, right? So, you know, after that, of course, Tim Tszyu had his a bounce back fight, you know, his tune-up fight against Joey Spencer, which he won.
We don't discuss what happened with Paul Cron.
But still on wobbly leg, the left hook drops him. But he's not jabbing. Oh, he got dropped with that left hook. It's the same. Damn.
I'm sorry.
In the interim, Sebastian Fundora fought Cordell Booker, which he won, and now they were on a, you know, and they were on a collision course, and now we finally crashed into each other, you know, mostly Sebastian Fundora crashing his left and his right hand into Tim Tszyu's skull, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, Tim Tszyu, I think with him not coming out off of his stool, you know, to continue the fight, a lot of people said he quit. Now, you know me, and if you pay attention to this channel, you know that I usually give a little bit more mercy than others, but there's a lot of people that like to run with this quitting narrative, like they're getting punched on, right? So yes, technically he did quit because he didn't come off of the stool, but people have a problem with other people calling out the fact that he had a bad performance, like Turki Alalshikh. Now, I know, in my personal opinion, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think it's rather unbecoming of Turki to have personal beefs and feuds with fighters when he's branded himself as a leader in the sport, right? But there's other leaders in the sport that are administrative figures or promoters or working in any capacity that's an official of making these fights happen, that beef with fighters as well. Check out Oscar De La Ponte, right? He beefs with Cinnamon all the time, right? We just saw him in a beef with Edgar Berlanga. Not to mention, he would label some fighters as bad as well, like Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, calling them runners, but neglecting the fact that he ran from Tito.
How conservative can you get? They'll oil you through only 19 punches in round number one for Trinidad. Felix obviously wants to be more aggressive in the second round. Now starting to make Oscar bouncing through most of the first two rounds.
Got him! Got him!
Oscar is just running now. He's not fighting back at all so far.
Nigga, you was a bitch!
When he was an active fighter, right? So I'm talking about in the ring, right? So I just think that, you know, that's just an example. I could go on about Eddie Hearn. I could go on about Bob Arum and everybody else and all these boxing pundits who I'll get into later that also say negative things about fighters. So I know that this is a sensitive moment. Maybe he could have had a better delivery, but Turki Alalshikh and Tim Tszyu have a documented beef. They don't like each other or whatever. And he didn't say that he should be excommunicated from boxing. He just said that he will not be invited to be on a Riyadh season card or a Ring Magazine event. And like I said, I do think it's distasteful because Tim Tszyu was out there fighting and he deserves to be commended for his warrior spirit. But at the same time, if you were just telling me that Daniel Dubois quit when he lost to Usyk the first time, and then you also telling me that you're questioning his heart because you think that he quit again, what's the difference? You're critiquing fighters in their bad moments, right? Sergio Mora, who's a former fighter, said this about Daniel Dubois. Is he unqualified to say so? He's a former fighter, right? And he questioned Daniel Dubois' heart. But if you're asking me, oh, if Daniel Dubois and Sergio Mora fought, heart or not, I could give Sergio Mora 1,000 hearts. He's not beating Daniel Dubois. So why would you tell Turki Alalshikh, who's never been a fighter, to go fight Tim Tszyu because he critiqued him? I disagree with that critique, right? I don't think Daniel Dubois quit. I mean, he took a punch from an all-time great. That's a heavyweight. And he couldn't get up. He tried to get up. I mean, what fight did you watch, Sergio Mora? I watched Daniel Dubois try to get up and he didn't beat the count. And he lost in 5 rounds. I thought it was a valiant effort, but Usyk is a beast. You know what I'm saying? So he lost, but people are still questioning his heart, right? And then you see another fight that was great this weekend, you know, which should have been this great, should have been this close, but Mario Barrios, right? People openly critiqued him. You had Paulie Malignaggi saying that Mario Barrios is the worst champion ever and that he would beat him in one hand. That's essentially saying that he's bad, just like Turki Alalshikh said that Tim Tszyu is bad. So now if you want to debate over semantics and the verbiage that's used, that's on you. But if I say that you're sensitive, or if I say that you're a bitch,
Nigga, you's a bitch.
it's essentially the same thing. But you want to get extra sensitive because you don't like the way certain synonyms sound, right? And like I said, of course, it's about your delivery. But the bigger point is that I don't see anything wrong with Turki Alalshikh. But I will say this, though. I don't like the fact that he deleted it. If you're going to say something, then stand on business. I don't like the fact that he tweeted this out and then deleted it, because to me, that shows that you have a guilty conscience and you know that you probably shouldn't have said it. So why did you delete it? You should have stand on it. You should have stood on it. You know what I'm saying? So in my personal opinion, do I think Turki was out of line? Yes, but I've said that before. But I don't think it's something that we've never seen before with all this backlash that he's getting. Like from this goofy right here whose name would not be revealed, right? This goofy said, oh my gosh, F Turki. Turki has said something so bad. How could he do that? He doesn't care about the fighters. So what? So what that he doesn't care about the fighters? Okay, and who thought that he cared about the fighters? He just puts on great fights, right? That's on you for thinking he's some righteous, altruistic being that's coming to save boxing. You put that on him, not him. You know what I'm saying? Dana White doesn't care about his MMA fighters, his UFC fighters, right? He puts them in the ring. He doesn't care about them. But the difference is, at least with Turki, he don't care about him either, but at least he pays him well. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bonus, you feel me? At least he's giving them the proper cheese that they deserve, you know? So if he doesn't care, he doesn't have to care about the fighters. I wish that he would. I care about the fighters. That's why I do what I do. And you know what I'm saying? I give you a breakdown from my perspective. I always try to respect the fighters, especially champions. But if you're telling me that Mario Barrios isn't good, which coincidentally, this dude had the audacity to say this about Turki in regards to Tim Tszyu, but guess what he did? The same exact person, I cannot make this up, said this about Mario Barrios. Yes, he said that Mario Barrios is very bad. So you asked me, what's the difference? Oh, okay, let me raise my hand. I'll tell you the difference. I got this one. There is no difference. It's just the verbiage that's being used. Turki Alalshikh said it in many words. This guy said it in fewer words. They're both saying that Tim Tszyu and Mario Barrios are bad. What's the problem? Besides the fact that you probably already have a disposition about Turki that's negative. You probably already don't like him. That's cool, but let's not exaggerate things, man. He has an opinion just like everybody has an opinion. When you talk about Mario Barrios or when you talk about Tim Tszyu, just because you like somebody doesn't mean somebody critiquing them in a negative manner means that they're extra wrong and you're extra right. I'm so sick of people acting like, you know, coming off with this holier than thou mentality. Bro, you're saying the same exact things. You see what I'm saying? You're disrespecting the fighters when they have a bad performance, just like Turki is. You're not better than him just because you don't like Turki and you like Tim Tszyu, or you don't like Barrios and you like Pacquiao. Why does it matter? You're all doing the same thing. We all do it. We all critique the fighters when they have a good performance or a bad performance. Some people critique more than others. Some people compliment more than others, but we all do it, man. And Turki Alalshikh, like I said, once again, coming from a leadership role, I think he should show a little bit more tact, yes, but what he said wasn't outrageous. It wasn't racist. It wasn't discriminatory. It wasn't like he was doing anything that was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? You just don't like it because probably you like Tim Tszyu or you don't like Turki or whatever it is. But like I said, I'm not defending the action, but I am defending the action against people that are extra and heavily critical and overly critical about what he said. Simple as that, man. So like I said at the very beginning of the video, you know, it was hard for me to keep my composure because I really see this stuff, and while I might shake my head, I do laugh. You know what I'm saying? I laugh. Just like when Oscar talks his trash, I might laugh. You know what I'm saying? So if I basically keep the same energy when people come with the disrespect. It's wrong, yes, but if you're talking about somebody's performance, I don't really think it's too far out of line, man. Tyson Fury just said that AJ gets beat by Jake Paul, basically calling him trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
And we call people trash all the time for their performance, particularly Mario Barrios right now. Everybody's calling him trash because he struggled against a 46-year-old, right? I still like Mario Barrios, but did he look bad? Yes, he looked bad. So it's essentially the same thing, man. So I keep the same energy, man. Why don't you? Exactly. So yeah, what Turkey did, I thought it was distasteful, but the way people are coming on him like, oh, it's so despicable, or he's so wrong. I think the worst thing that he did in this whole situation is the fact that he didn't stand on it and he deleted it. That shows a little bit of cowardice, and it shows that you are kind of admitting that you did something wrong. But Turki Alalshikh having his opinion. We see Sergio Mora, Paulie Malignaggi, other boxing contributors and pundits be very disrespectful to fighters all the time. Look at what Devin Haney was going through, that entire smear campaign. People trying to act like PEDs don't matter, and you know what I'm saying. And we even let Iman Katayev fight against David Morrell when he just has a history of being dirty, even though it was with the IBA, and that's different. He still has a history of being dirty. So yes, they don't care about the fighter's welfare. Oh well, we already know this, bro. Like, so don't make it seem like, oh, these other people are being more considerate and these people aren't, and don't make it seem like you who talk trash about other fighters are holier than thou now because a fighter that you like is on the shitty end of trash talk. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God we can do anything, without God we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. And yes, I want to hear from you because I know y'all gonna go in on me on the comments. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not defending Turkey per se. I'm just saying that these people are very hypocritical and I'm calling them out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we out. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.